What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to Small Biz. In today's video, we're going to talk about buyer beware, because when the Fed meets tomorrow and no doubt cuts by at least 25 basis points, are we looking at a rug pull, or is there at least one indicator that's telling this guy right here, the drawdowns, not going to be that bad? All that and more coming right up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is Tuesday, the 16th. I hope you're having a fantastic motherfucking day. This guy just sold his 17th win of the month, DVLT, and we just bought it back at 37.66 last trade, 38.5. Do not pay more than 38.5 for DVLT. The breakout was 367. We caught a 15% move out of the gate in about 10 minutes. I quickly realized that 99% of our community did not have a chance to buy it because it happened in less than a minute. So I sold it and I said, hey, another train's going to leave the station. Well, that train came back into the station and we bought it again. Is it going to be our 18th win? Didn't I give you guys, by the way, before I forget, open about 6 months ago at $1 before it went to 10? Or about a year ago, SOFI, when we were buying it at 6.5, I sold it way too early. Last I looked, it was $27.50. I could keep fucking going. Well, what about the Benny? You're right there. You mean the stock that I sold at $3.16 before it went under a dime? In case you didn't hear me at the open, and I'll get to the market in a second, 17 wins in less than 1 month. When's the last time you had 17 wins for an average profit of 41%? Answer, never. You never have, let alone inside of a month. Do you know that if you're trading with $3,000, let's say that's the average size inside of our Discord. They're trading with 25,000. They got 50 to 100 in the retirement side of the portfolio because we believe in indexing 2/3 SPY, QQQ, IWM. But you only buy the annual drawdown, like the fake bear market low about 4 months ago at 400 on the Qs, pushing 600 now. That's the fastest 50% or thereabouts move ever inside of the NASDAQ, which is why I say you need to be somewhat careful. And I'll explain all that in a second. But if you had $3,000 on the line with me and I tag you on every fucking trade, you know how much money you would have made? 41%, 17 times? Answer, close to 20 grand. How much would you have paid me? Nothing. And you'd still have had another month or two of your free trial. Pinned in the top comment, it goes away Friday at midnight. There is no more free trials after Friday at midnight. Why? It cheapens our brand and it attracts what you might call a lower caliber of client. In other words, a bunch of fucking clowns. Similar to the 31 clowns that refused to put a fucking credit card on file, and I fired every single one of them. And to this day, not a single one of them has squawked or come back. So whether it's a fuck you, Jason, for throwing me out, or they're that stupid because they saw 15 of the 17 wins not to put a card on file, I'm calling on people that want to make 50 to 100 times what you fucking pay me, which is $2.05 a day when your trial ends. You'll have, I don't know, 15, 20, 25 or more wins against at least one loss by the time your trial is over. Do the math. Take your average trade times 41%, 17 fucking times. And you would have paid me nothing for that. So when you see all this gray, it's not the idiots that I have to handle inside of the Discord or the clowns that threaten to kill me on occasion. It's what do I have to do? What do I have to do? Seriously. I beg of you. But please, I'm praying to God and every single one of you watching me. What do I have to do? I've given you trades. I clearly tell you exactly what's going on. You see people in the comments backing me up every day. What else do I have to do? I tried giving you 3 fucking months and 31 of you wouldn't put a card on file after I told you 3 fucking times with a distinct deadline. This is the greatest secular bull market in human history. Since 2017, I've been saying flying cars and trips to fucking Mars. Since then, the NASDAQ's up 500%. By the time this is over, 10 years from now, it'll be up another 5, 6, 700%. And then we're going to have the crash of a lifetime. 37 trillion is about to become 60 trillion. We'll have a bankrupt Social Security system. And a third, if not more, of human capital will be out of a fucking job, probably well before that, in many cases due to a malicious AI that wants to take you and me out. This is it. Stop fucking around and wasting time when I'm giving you an opportunity to make money for free. And that ends, in case you didn't hear me, Friday at midnight. It's pinned in the top comment. Why do I think the drawdown's not going to be that bad, although it may start tomorrow and or Thursday or Friday? If you go to the CNN Fear and Greed Index, I can't stand the channel, obviously, but that indicator, and it's very deep, is flawless. When the fake trade war low of 400 on the Qs was hit, we were at 3 on a scale of 1 to 100. In other words, extreme fear. I don't trade options anymore. I went bankrupt in 2008 because of margin and options. Even though I was right, I'll tell that story again. But if you ever saw The Big Short, I was in South Florida. I was going to fucking Pure Platinum, all the strip bars. And I had to listen to strippers tell me I've got 5 houses, just like the movie. The problem is I started loading up in 2006 with NASDAQ 100 QQQ puts. I had hundreds of thousands of contracts, but I didn't pay attention to something called time value erosion, and I got wiped out. I'll tell you exactly how that happened, including the strippers, in another video. But if you go to that index and scroll down to something called the put-call ratio, one reason to be concerned is, as of yesterday, it was at extreme greed. 9 of every 10 contracts was a call, meaning most options buyers, and 87% of those expire worthless, meaning most people don't make money, is on the call side. In other words, everyone's already in the bullish pool. That's dangerous. However, the same CNN Fear and Greed Index, in terms of the overall indicator of the market's only at 58. It's barely inside of greed. It doesn't top in terms of the market until we're in extreme greed north of 80. So this morning we had what? We had a strong retail sales number. That means we're not going into recession, which is good. Or is it? It took the October rate cut off the table or close to it. So are we about to have a Goldilocks scenario where we don't go into recession, but we're weak enough, particularly on the labor market side, where the Fed can cut tomorrow and definitely in December, but maybe say, you know what? We've got strong retail sales. The labor conditions are somewhat stabilizing. We're holding off in October, and they'll tell you that, of course, in the press conference, if they don't cut. But if I'm looking out beyond the end of this year into the beginning of next, whether the rug pull is going to be imminent or most likely in January, that often happens if you have any experience in the market, you should know that, or maybe we're going to get the Christmas massacre. Do you remember that in 2018 or 19 where the NASDAQ dropped 20% and didn't bottom in December until Christmas Eve? There's a rug pull coming. The daily MACD as one indicator is way over the zero line for 6 months. That's only happened twice in the last 5 years. So yes, in closing, this is a very fucking powerful secular bull market that will last another 10 years. Demographically, it's just like 1990 with the boomers. Millennials and Gen Z are just like the boomers in 90. And if you know your history, when I was a fucking licensed stockbroker on Wall Street during the 1990s to 2007, it was extremely volatile. In fact, from 1995 to 2000, the final melt up, probably similar to what 2030 to 2035 is going to be like. We had not 1, but 2 annual drawdowns in excess of 10%. I know what I'm doing. You could have fucking made 17 fucking profits at 41% in a month. And almost every one of you has been watching me with your unlubricated thumb up your fucking ass for years. I can help you make money, real money on the retirement side by only loading up once a year into the drawdown, or if it is a bear market, I will be there to tell you every step of the way what to do or not do. And on the trading side, do you know anybody else? Seriously. Who has 268 or 9 wins against 19 losses for 14x returns in 2 years? No, you don't. I know people, you might know some, I don't know, maybe you're looking at one, that have turned 100 or 200 grand into millions. This is it. This is your chance. You've got 3 more fucking days to take advantage of a free trial pinned in the top comment. Get a Discord if you don't have a small biz. You just want to make money. That's most of our members. Premium if you do. And until next time, always remember that I love you. And thank you so very much for watching.